Hello and welcome to Newsroom series today. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Thank you for joining us. Our focus is the southwest region of the country today. But first, the top stories. An explosive device is suspected to have been detonated at the Secretariat of the Action People's Party in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. The explosion, which occurred at about midnight, shattered the window near the impacted area. The Rivers State Police Command has deployed 2 security vehicles and personnel to the scene in the new GRA as routine activities are going on within the area. The APP, which is relatively unknown in Rivers State, gained attention recently after securing and decorating a building in the highbrow area of Port Harcourt to host its secretariat. It was rumored that the party is supported by some members of the People's Democratic Party who are aggrieved with the current handling of the affairs of their party in the state. The party and the police have not yet spoken on the incident. Suspected hoodlums have set ablaze the Redeemed Christian Church of God building located along Federal College of Education Road in Kontagora, Niger State. This marks the second time in 10 years that particular church building has been targeted, with the previous incident occurring a decade ago when unidentified attackers burned down the building and warned against its reconstruction. The chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria in Niger State, Most Reverend Bulus Yohana, condemned the latest attack, describing it as barbaric and uncalled for. He emphasized the need for the law to take its course, stressing that such incidents must be curtailed and those responsible be held accountable. Pastor Samson Ogwebo, the assistant pastor of the RCCG, recounts the event which took place around 3 a.m. on Saturday. The West African Examinations Council has released the results for the 2024 West African Senior School Certificate Examination for school candidates. The announcement was made today. Candidates who participated in the exam can now get their results. The exam was conducted successfully, marking the first WAEC under the leadership of Dr. Amos Dangut as the head of WAEC Nigeria office. Mr. Dangut says out of the 1,805,216 candidates who registered for the WAEC, results were released for 1,685,889 candidates, which accounts for 93.9% of the total. However, he mentioned that insecurity in some parts of the country affected the exam process. Despite these challenges, a significant number of candidates performed well. According to him, 1,332,089 candidates obtained credits in 5 subjects, including any subject with either mathematics or English language, and 1,301,949 candidates achieved credits in 5 subjects, including mathematics and English language, making up 72.9% of total candidates. He also pointed out that there was a 7.6% decrease in overall performance compared to the 2023 WAEC. Additionally, 215,267 results were withheld due to examination malpractice, representing 11.92% of the candidates who took the exam. Now to the southwest region. The Enugu state government, in the quest for quality and healthy environment to reduce greenhouse emissions, has commenced the Urban Afforestation Initiative with its maiden tree planting. At a ceremony tagged Greening Tomorrow Today, held at the governor's office in Abeokuta, the state capital, the state governor, Dapo Abiodun, represented by the state head of service, Mr. Kehinde Onosoya, calls for collective responsibility towards protecting the ecosystem to ensure cleaner, healthier, and a more sustainable environment. And as part of the effort towards achieving this, the state government is planting 2 million trees this year to ensure ecosystem balancing.
The current effects of climate change on communities and nations have necessitated concerted efforts by stakeholders to mitigate these impacts. The Ogun State government, in collaboration with environmentalists, development partners, and senior officials from both state and federal ministries of environment, is flagging off an urban afforestation initiative where 2 million trees are to be planted to create a balance in the ecosystem.
Our communities need to be strengthened. We need to also recognize the place of renewed oxygen in our urban areas which would definitely address health issues, because that will mitigate pollution in the environment, and we will be able to have less cardiovascular diseases and other related pollution diseases.
Trees play a great role in combating the impact of climate change and global warming, which is primarily caused by man's activity, the excess greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide. So we have to come together and combat it, fight it together.
Thank you very much.
Given the high industrial activities in Ogun State, a growing economy in the country, the Commissioner for Environment and his counterpart in the Ministry of Forestry stresses that urban afforestation is crucial to maintain a healthy environment.
These industries are daily giving out emissions, and these emissions have to be taken in for us to balance them out. So if any state in Nigeria will give attention to tree planting, Ogun State must be the first.
This year, 2024, we have started. Our target is 2 million. We've got support from FRAIN and from Ministry of Environment. So this we'll continue to do so that we can populate our forests and protect our forests from degradation.
The State Head of Service, Mr. Kehinde Onasonya, representing Governor Dapo Abiodun, highlights ongoing measures to address climate change as he calls for the youth's understanding and support for environmental initiatives.
Use of LPG to replace firewood for cooking by rural dwellers. Introduction of policy, which is 25% green space, as a condition for construction approvals, protection of forest cover with aggressive reforestation projects, among others.
One by one, the state governor's representative, along with commissioners and development partners, participate in the symbolic tree planting event labeled Greening Tomorrow, Today.
And meanwhile, as part of efforts to protect the environment, the Ogun State government has also launched the second phase of its e-mobility transport initiative with about 2,000 motorcycles and compressed natural gas tricycles as part of its sustainable multimodal transport system of the state economy. At a ceremony held in Abeokuta, the state capital, the state governor, Dapo Abiodun, says this has become imperative in order to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and ensure sustainable environment for living and business. While expressing the readiness of his administration towards effective partnership with the private sector, he also assured them of business-friendly policies and programs for good returns on investment.
After the successful launch of the compressed natural gas buses as part of the multimodal transport system for Ogun State, it is the turn of the launch of the e-motorcycles and tricycles for sustainable transport system. In attendance is the Governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun, Minister of Transport, Saidu Alkali Ahmed, members of the State and National Assembly, traditional rulers and other associations, as the state moves to put in place an efficient transport system for socio-economic development.
We will be releasing about 2,000 e-bikes in the first phase. These commercial motorbikes can ride up to 75 to 80 kilometers on one full charge, and vehicles up to 200 kilometers, thus reducing transportation costs by 40%. This investment will be in 3 phases. Beginning with phase 1, with a focus on our e-Okada bike assembly, and of course, phase 2 with our tricycles, and phase 3 with our e-vehicles. It will create over 10,000 direct jobs and about 50,000 indirect jobs.
The Minister of Transportation, Saidu Alkali Ahmed, who congratulated the governor, says the initiative is in line with the renewed hope agenda of the federal government, which prioritizes sustainable transport system for economic growth and development.
It is essential to note that this program is launched at no better time than now, in recognition of the need to devise alternative mobility technology that will ease transportation difficulties, reduce emission of hazardous and toxic combustion products such as sulfur oxide, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and particulate of salts and ash, which are strong contributors to greenhouse gas emissions.
The paramount ruler of Egbaland, who spoke on behalf of other traditional rulers, commends the governor for the initiative.
I congratulate Governor, fixing on making the best, doing things that others will now begin to copy. We are the ones that in Yoruba language they say, àwọn òkè wo tẹ̀lé kọ̀ọ̀kan, gbogbo ayé ló wo tá a bá ṣe tí wọ́n copy wa, ẹ̀kúṣẹ́ náà.
After the speeches, the governor, joined by the minister and other dignitaries, unveiled the e-motorcycles and the CNG tricycles and took a ride afterwards.
The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has announced that the newly refurbished Wole Soyinka Center for Culture and the Creative Arts, Igomu, in Lagos will be ready before the end of the year. Governor Sanwo-Olu, during an inspection of the facility with some state officials and stakeholders of the center, formerly known as the National Arts Theatre, Igomu, expressed satisfaction with the extent of work done and says the newly transformed Wole Soyinka Center for Culture and the Creative Arts, which can be compared to the World International Center, will be complete in about 4 months and open for public use.
It's such a rare opportunity, and I'm sure all of you have been part of this tour this evening. Some of you were part of a team about 4 years ago when we started this in 2019. And I'm sure you have seen for yourself the transformation of what this place has turned into in the last almost 5 years. I'm truly, really excited and happy with the work that the Bankers Committee, under the auspices of SINOF, has been able to do. They have truly shown us that when we put our mind to things as a country, as a people, we can get the best out of ourselves. We all came in here 4 or 5 years ago, and we were discouraged. We were saddened with what we saw as one of our national treasure. What has happened in the last 4.5 years, and the tour that we have seen today, is that we've brought back the whole glory, even in a bigger, in a better, in a more transformative form than what it used to be. And I think I need to commend, all of the professionals that have put this together. And I think it's really going to be a place where, international audience, will see that we're ready, to take the world on entertainment, on tourism, on the creative mind, and more importantly, even in the business conferences and seminars that we all go and attend in other parts of the world. That's what this old edifice is, a one-stop shop that has everything, you can imagine, as comparable to any other world conference center, But he also now have an additional flavor of an arts, a cultural center added all to it.
The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has called for more investment to ensure that marginalized citizens have access to education and vocational skills. The governor, who was represented by the State Commissioner for Economic Budget and Planning, Mr. Okpe George, stated this during the closeout event of the Leave No One Behind initiative held at the Correctional Center for Girls, Idiaraba. He says no fewer than 20,000 women and girls have been empowered through the initiative to drive change and create sustainable solutions for Lagos State.
Leave No One Behind initiative is part of the Lagos State Government Empowerment Program to ensure that the benefits of the circular economy extend to everyone, particularly those marginalized in the state. The closeout event of the Leave No One Behind initiative, held at the Correctional Center for Girls, Idiaraba, has brought together heads of agencies, ministries from the Lagos State Government to enlighten the people on the impact of the scheme.
The Leave No One Behind initiative is a correctional sited for the girls, now functioning as a collection center, engaging approximately 1,000 community members, collecting 200 kilograms of recyclables on a weekly basis. This operation not only supports community welfare, but also aims to generate substantial revenue by converting waste into valuable resources.
Empowering women and youth is part of the focus of this initiative to reduce hunger and unemployment and also achieve the Sustainable Development Goals.
The initiative has impacted the lives of about 100 women and girls in this pilot phase, with the potential and with a hope for us all to scale to 20,000 by providing a source of income and skills for business development. There are also community benefits. It has provided food, beverages, and some airtime for up to 1,000 community members through the collection of infrastructure. The skills acquired through this initiative will enable them to create and manage sustainable businesses.
How best to address environmental challenges, particularly the issue of indiscriminate dumping of refuse, is also highlighted by the Consulate General, Head of Trade of Denmark in Lagos.
I see people dumping things on the streets. This can actually be a source of wealth and resources. But we have to increase the awareness and the education in terms of what can actually be done.
The State Commissioner for Economic Budget and Planning says the initiative offers a positive change for financial independence, circular economy practices for 20,000 women and girls.
The impact of this initiative goes beyond numbers. Each of the 20,000 girls and women who have participated in this program represent a story of resilience, ambition, and transformation. They have learned to harness their potential, to see value where others see waste, and to create sustainable livelihoods for themselves and their communities. The Leave No One Behind initiative has set a precedent, but our work is far from over. We must continue to advocate for and implement policies that support the circular economy.
The state government says it's committed to scaling the Leave No One Behind initiative model across the 5 divisions of the state to further amplify its social and economic benefits for Lagos.
In the aftermath of the nationwide protests, subnationals are looking inwards once again to engage the youth and empower them with various skills. One such state is Ekiti State, which is changing the narrative as a prominent empowerment destination. Now, Governor Biodun Yebanji believes Nigeria's future beckons with contributions and sacrifices. The governor's discourse resonated with hope, urging the youth to envision a path where they not only thrive personally, but also contribute significantly to the state's and the nation's progress. Joining us in Newsroom series today is the Commissioner for Youth Development in Ekiti State, Mr. Adeshola Adedayo. You're welcome to the program today.
Thank you.
Now, it's a huge task, no mean feat, trying to harness the potential of the youth in Ekiti State. Tell us what the state government is doing about the youth in this regard.
Thank you very much again. In Ekiti, today, particularly celebrating the International Youth Day, Mr. Governor just commissioned Innovation Center to harness the potential of our youth. Of course, we agree with our governor that digital technology, it goes beyond mere entertainment and communication. Of course, it goes beyond just a tool for entertainment and communication. It is a means of empowering our youth. And today, Mr. Governor makes it possible in our state to allow young innovators to come together and harness their potential for development. In Ekiti today, not only in innovation, even in agriculture, in wealth creation, because we all work together as an MDA. No ministry work in silos in Ekiti State. And all of us, particularly in collaboration with the Ministry of Youth Development, my ministry, today in Ekiti State, it has been empowerment, development for our youth all the way.
In addition to that, when a young man or woman leaves school, he's looking forward to a good job. As far as the employment opportunities go, what is the Ekiti State government doing?
Of course, you know that no government can adequately employ the youth because we are the highest and the largest demography of the economy, not only in Ekiti State, but of course in Nigeria. And so when you leave school in Ekiti, of course, the government is trying to employ some of us into civil service, into teaching service. That is ongoing. But at the same time, it's also important for us to know that skill acquisition, skill training, development is crucial to our development. Just like I said, that no government can adequately employ everybody. And so in Ekiti, in digital innovation, in Ministry of Agriculture, in Ekiti particular, responding to food security challenge, you will agree with me that to be deliberate in empowering youth in agricultural produce is a way of solving our food security challenge. And so today in Ekiti State, we are doing what's called cluster farming, providing clearing large mass of land for our youth, helping them with improved seedlings and of course insecticide and all that is required for agricultural produce. And so also in wealth creation, just about right about now, in another week, we'll be empowering and training about 100,000 youth across the state. So when you're done from school, if you wish to go for a white collar job, it's okay. But in the state, we're enhancing their capacity, we're developing their skills, we're looking at youth that be out of school, creating jobs rather than job seekers.
Finally, Honorable Commissioner, certain vices are peculiar but not limited to the youth, such as drugs, such as the youth who don't want to stay in school. As far as social enlightenment goes, what challenges do you have or do you encounter with the youth in Ekiti State, and what are you doing to enlighten them wherever necessary?
Okay, social vices is a global phenomenon. It's not only peculiar to Nigeria or to Ekiti State, but in our state, we're trying our best to develop, because when you adequately engage with them, when you develop their skill, Mr. Governor is providing a labeling environment in the state for them to try, for them to create wealth, for them to develop this economy. Of course, we know that those social crises are there, and that is something about youth. A lot of us want to get rich overnight. Some of us don't want to just do the part of laboring and, of course, getting properly engaged or employed before making money. And that is not only peculiar to Ekiti State, all of us youth, that is the way we are today. But in Ekiti State, continuous engagement, the ministry is open, our governor is accessible, is providing a enabling environment for them. Like I said, training and retraining, empowerment in various sectors. In Ekiti today, we have indigenous textile industry. And this is because, of course, in collaboration with the Office of the First Lady, we've been able to train and empower 400 of our youth from the Central Senatorial District and, of course, South Senatorial District. And in another week or so, we'll be doing another 200 from the North Senatorial District. And so all of these initiatives and programs that are available to our youth is some of the ways that we're using to curb some of these social vices.
Indeed, we certainly wish you well in your productive endeavors for the youth in Ekiti State. Thank you so much for coming on Newsroom Series, Mr. Adeshola Adedayo, the Commissioner for Youth Development in Ekiti State. Many thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, Governor Seyi Makinde has commenced distribution of the fertilizers to the farmers as directed, according to the state government. The support will help boost food security and Ineki in Oyo State and the rest of the country. Each farmer will receive 2 bags each out of the 21,000 bags of assorted fertilizers.
Farmers from Akinyele local government converge on Oyo town for a symbolic flag-off of distribution of fertilizers as directed by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, which is represented at this event to ensure smooth distribution and give necessary support where needed. The Oyo State Coordinating Office of the ministry says the support is aimed at boosting food security in the country.
This CBN support aligns with one of the key priorities of the present administration under the renewed hope agenda, that is, economic sustainability plan to improve our agricultural sector through the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security as identified for driving and diversifying the economy.
The farmers pledged to reciprocate the gesture of the federal and state government, which they describe as timely.
This is the first time we ever enjoyed such a privilege, especially from the government, from the state government and the federal government. We appreciated them that they have already, they are now coming up, meeting the need of the farmer, essentially.
They give us fertilizer today to encourage us so as to align with the initiative of our Mama, the First Lady of Nigeria, that every woman in Nigeria should turn her backyard to farmland. So women in Oyo State, especially in the farm settlements, we appreciate Engineer Seyi Makinde for making it possible, for encouraging us to align with the vision of our Mama.
The Commissioner for Agriculture in Oyo State, Barrister Olasukomi Olaleye, said each farmer is to receive 2 bags each of the 21,000 bags of assorted fertilizers from the federal government.
We have 21,000 bags here, and the farmers in Oyo State will collect minimum of 2 bags. So what that means is that more than 12,000 farmers are going to benefit from this. So today we kick off the distribution. We have 250 farmers from Akinyele local government. Majority of them also from the Oyo State farm settlements. So they are going to benefit. From tomorrow, 2 local governments each will be coming to collect their own fertilizer.
He asked them to make judicious use of the materials to boost their productivity in the new farming season.
That's it on Newsroom Series today. Thank you for watching. I'm Olumide Macaulay.